I was thinking we would work on a bit of core work. We'll do some leg work, some glutes, and we'll just see how it develops. Maybe we'll work our way into crow or something like that. But we'll just start off breathing. So just sit comfortably, get a nice comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged or you can sit on Japanese style if you want. Wherever you're at, get length in the spine. I'm resting my hands on my knees. Close the eyes. So having the eyes closed just allows you to focus more on how you're seated, I think. And it allows you to focus more on the breath. Get tall. Soften the shoulders, the face. And start taking deeper breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Long, deep inhales. Exhale, trying to make it as long or even longer than the inhale. You can hear the breath. You can hear the flow of air through the throat as you breathe in and out. So let's stretch the neck out. So start bringing the right ear towards the right shoulder. And you're just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out. And we'll hold it for 4 or 5 breaths here. Just letting the head get heavier with each breath. Inhale the head back up to neutral. Exhale over to the other side. Take your time. Just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale over to the first side again. Now this time, we're holding that side stretch, but we're starting to bring the head a little bit more forward. We're still holding that side stretch, but now we're taking the head backward. Inhale, we come up to neutral. Exhale over to the other side. Holding that side stretch, but with the head more forward. And then taking the head backward. Inhaling back up to neutral. Let's turn the head in one direction. Why don't you turn it over towards the right shoulder? Keeping the shoulders facing forward, we're just turning the head and we're letting the movement follow the eyes. We inhale back to neutral, exhale turning the head in the other direction. Inhale neutral, exhale chin to the chest. Now this time we're going to take the hands, placing them behind the head, encouraging the chin in a little closer. Good stretch to the back of the neck. Inhale coming up, hands down. And then just work on the shoulders. So I've still got my hands rests on the legs. I'm bringing one shoulder forward, up, back and down. And then I'm going to work on the other shoulder. And then both together Just do whatever feels good, up and down. Just try and loosen up. Shake the hands out. So we're going to come face down and we're going to do some glute work, lower back work. So just come face down on the mat. And I like to stack my hands, just rest my forehead on the top hand. And we're just going to bring the right leg up and down. That's all we're doing. Lightly touching the ground with the big toe. And this is going to work the glutes, and it's going to work the lower back muscles. Now hold the leg up. The leg is extended, the leg is pretty straight, and we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it raised, and we're going to do just little pulses. So we're not taking the leg all the way down, just little pulses here. Keep going. And we bring that leg down. Relax totally. And then the other leg comes up and down. This time just lightly touching the ground with the big toe on the way down. Keep the leg raised for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg up, little pulses. And then bring the leg down and totally relax. So we're going to line our side. A couple of things you could do. You could either support the head with your hand, or you can just rest the head all the way down on your arm, whatever feels most comfortable. We straighten both legs so they're slightly forward of the hips. Then we take the top leg in front of that bottom leg, and we're going to work on the bottom leg, so we're just lifting that leg up and down. This is going to be a little bit more Pilates than yoga, but this is still good. And this is going to strengthen the inner quads in particular. It's an area we tend to neglect. Start circling the leg, just circle in one direction. And then circle in the other direction. And then just raise the leg, hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We bring that leg down. We stack the legs. Again, the legs are slightly forward of the hips. Working on the top leg, bringing that leg up and down. This is going to work the gluteus medius. It's going to work the outer quads. Circle the leg, one direction. Circle the other direction. You're starting to feel this, I'm sure. And then just keep the leg raised for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to bring the knee in nice and close and extend. Just bringing the knee in and extending the leg. Okay, clam shells. Now clam shells, we pull the knees in, so the knees are bent. We keep contact between the inner feet, and we're just going to bring the top knee up and down. And then we switch sides. So you can just flip over. I'm going to face you guys, so I've got to go to do a little bit more work here. Okay, legs straight, top foot in front, and we're just going to raise and lower the bottom leg, working the inner muscles of that leg. And then we just hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We circle one direction. Circle the other direction. And then we stack the legs forward of the hips. We'll bring the top leg up and down. Gluteus medius working. Let's hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We circle the leg in one direction. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling this. We circle in the other direction. So if you haven't worked all these muscles for a while, you might feel a little bit sore for a day or two, but you know, should be good sore. Okay, pull the knee in, extend the leg. Clam shells. Knees, both knees come in, keep the inner feet in contact, we just bring the top knee up and down. Just like a clam shell. Again, it's working these gluteus medius. Okay, there we go. Come onto your back. And just take a little breather. Feet on the ground, knees bent. Mini cat-cows. As we inhale, we push the lower back into the ground, and then we pull the lower back up, keeping the tailbone down. So if you bring your hands onto your hips, you can feel those hips going down on the inhale and coming up on the exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So as we inhale, you're trying to touch the ground with the lower back. On the exhale, you're trying to hollow the lower back, but the tailbone stays down. So next we're going to go up and down into bridge. So this time on the inhale, we push into the ground and we lift those hips up. And on the exhale, we come down and we totally relax. Inhale coming up, exhale down. Inhale coming up, exhale down. Just before you come up, you're pushing into the ground before you lift those hips up. And as you come down, you relax, just hollowing the lower back. 2 or 3 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This time we're going to hold bridge. Inhale coming up. Don't forget in bridge we keep the gaze towards the ceiling. Do not turn the head from side to side, it's bad for the neck. Keep the legs nice and parallel, not splayed out. We interlace the hands, we walk the shoulders in nice and close. And then a little bit closer if you can. You push the arms, hands into the ground Keep the back neutral, keep the legs parallel, the feet are glued to the mat. If your back feels okay, you can lift the hips up a little bit higher, but keep the back nice and happy and you're working. By walking the arms in, by pushing the head into the ground, the arms and hands into the ground, you're trying to get a little bit of space underneath the neck, so there should be no pressure on the neck. You're breathing. Come up a little bit higher, and then slowly come down, releasing the arms. Bring down the upper back, mid back, lower back. Pull the knees in nice and close, and just rock a little bit. Feet back down to the ground. Pull the knees in, lightly touch the ground with the toes. That's all we're doing. Knees in, and then just touching the ground. Working the abs here. With the knees in, there's less pressure on the back, so the back is nice and safe, especially as the knees come in. As you start to straighten the legs, so if we have one leg straight, one knee bent, and we switch, you're having to work a little bit harder to keep the back nice and low. If we straighten both legs and lift the legs up and down like this, you've got to work a lot harder. And if this does bother the back, or if you have any lower back issues, keep the knees pulled in. But if you want more challenge, you can keep the legs straight, but as I say, you've got to work a little bit harder to keep the back safe and to keep working those cores. But if your back is in good shape, you have a pretty strong core to begin with, you can do this exercise and you can build the strength up a little bit more. And then bring the feet down to the ground. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll bring my legs up over the head as well, just touch the ground with my toes and then come back down. We'll save that. Feet on the ground, knees are bent. This time windshield wipers, we just take the legs over from side to side. A little bit of work on the obliques, but we're also adding a little bit of a twist, so we're getting a bit more mobility in the spine when we do this. And we're moving with the breath. We inhale as the knees come up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. A little bit more challenge. The legs are raised, 90 degrees between the legs and the torso. You're trying to keep that 90 degrees. Arms out about 45 degrees. And we take the legs over to one side, about halfway down. Back up and over to the other side. So we're just going, again it's like windshield wipers, but we're just going from side to side with the legs straight. The arms are very useful to go down slow and to help you bring the legs back up. You're going down far enough so it's a little bit of a challenge, but not too far. You don't want to go too far to make it too difficult. Again, we're working the spine, we're getting mobility there, we're strengthening the obliques. Nice one. Back to center, bring the feet down, pull the knees in, rock from side to side. Actually, while we're here, why don't we do reclined pigeon? So take the outer of the right foot onto the left leg and hold onto the back of that left leg. The foot that's close to you is engaged, is active, using quite a lot of arm strength as you pull the legs in and you're trying to keep the tailbone down. Next, we just rock a little bit, massaging the lower back. If the right leg is the closest one to you, I want you to lean over towards the left and just see if you can find the tightest spot in your back, and just give just a little rocking on that tight area, just to try and loosen up. And then we're going to switch, bringing the left onto the right leg, taking hold of the back of the right leg, pulling in. As you pull in, you're trying to keep the tailbone pretty low if you can. Quite a lot of arm strength. Dorsiflexion, that foot close to you, and we just do a little bit of rocking. Just massaging the lower back. And then we're going to lean more. If this time your left foot is closer, you lean more over to the right, trying to find that tightish area in the back. And just give that a little bit of extra attention. There we go. Okay, both knees come in. Hold on to the back of the legs. Lift the head up. We rock into boat. Arms either side of you. If you guys have any concerns with your back, if you've got any low back issues, please keep hold of the legs. Otherwise, you can have the arms parallel to the legs. Knees can be bent, or if you want more challenge, you start to straighten the legs. This is a tough one. It's going to strengthen the core. You breathing, but you're really trying to keep that back nice and neutral. And then we lower, so the feet are a few inches off the ground. Hand is behind the head, supporting the head. We're pushing the lower back into the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We lower all the way down. We take a full body stretch. Trying to get as much length as you can. Feels good. Take a little bit of a side stretch. Getting into that banana shape. Stretching out the side ribs and the hip. And then we work on the other side, stretching out the other side of the body. Recenter, walk the feet in, roll up. Now this time, we're going to come into child's pose and just relax. So child's pose doesn't feel like much is happening, but we are getting a gentle stretch in the back. We're going to make sure it's extended child's pose, so the arms are extended forward. And we're going to walk the hands over to one side, getting a bit more of a stretch in the lower back. And then we're going to walk over to the other side, stretching out the other side of the back. Back to neutral. We come onto our hands and knees. We do cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, round in the back, tucking the chin. We come into neutral, thread the needle. We take the right arm behind the left arm. You're resting on the right arm, the right side of the face. And you're pushing the left hand into the ground, elbow up towards the ceiling. So again, we're working that lower back, but this time we're adding a bit of a twist. The more you reach to the side with that bottom hand, the more you push into the ground with that other hand, the more you're going to feel the stretch. And then we switch to the other side. You come onto your hands and knees, thread the needle on the other side. Reaching with that bottom arm, pulling that other hand, pushing that other hand into the ground, elbow up. Take a few breaths. And then we come out. We sit on the heels. We bring the hands behind so the fingers are lined up with the toes. Elbows bent slightly, opening the chest. Head goes back carefully. Maybe lift up the hips. Breathe. Opening the whole front body. Sit bones down. Child's pose for a breath or two. And then we come up. So what we're going to do next, we're going to stretch out the toes, the back of the ankles, the Achilles, and the more stretching on the lower back. So tuck the toes, bring the hands next to the knees. So I'm just on my fingertips, and we're just going to rock on the toes. So I feel this, so I was doing this in a session yesterday, and I asked one of the people, well, what do you feel in this? Because I feel it in the back of the ankles, and I feel it gentle stretch in the back. And he said, oh, he feels it in the belly. He said he needs to lose some of his belly fat, which I thought was quite funny. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to start bringing the heels a little bit closer. And eventually the heels are coming all the way down onto the mat. If that's not working for you, if you can't get your heels all the way down, what you could do is roll up the mat so you've got support for the heels, but it would be best if you could support the heels. I then try and bring my armpits onto the knees. I'm trying to hug the legs as much as I can. And this I feel a little bit more stretch in the lower back, in the back. It's a good stretch, it's not hurting, but I do feel it. And I'm just going to hold this for 3 or 4 breaths. And then rock up. Come onto your hands and knees, tuck the toes, down dog, walk the dog, bend one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Take your time. Hold one leg straight, one knee bent. At the same time, you're trying to get into a deeper down dog, more length from the hands all the way through to the hips. The gaze between the legs. We switch legs. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, knees bent. Inhale into chair. Exhale coming all the way up. We just move back a little bit so you can see me better. I'll move this guy a little bit more forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. We bring the knees down. Hold the knees down. Look at the elbows. Bend the elbows. Try and turn the inner elbows towards the front of the mat. So you're pulling the elbows in closer as you bring the chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Knees down. Chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Couple of breaths. You're looking between the legs so the head is not stressed. You're pushing the hands into the ground armpits towards the ground. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale folding forward. Knees bent. We're back in chair and then we come all the way up. One more. Inhale chair this time. Exhale folding forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, we come into plank. Now this time if you want to do Chaturanga, again we start to bend the elbows, turning the inner elbows forward. But we try and bring the whole body forward and down, and then into up dog. Up dog, hips are up, arms are straight. We're looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back into plank. If it bothers the wrist, you could do a forearm plank. Side plank, you bring the right hand to center and you bring the other arm up. So bottom knee can be down or the top foot can be down in front of you. If you want more challenge, the top leg comes up. You're breathing. Plank, side plank, regular side plank or forearm side plank. Bottom knee down, top foot down in front of you, or maybe bring the top leg up. Back into plank. Chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath or two. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Knees bent, we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, plank. Chaturanga or knees, chin, chest to ground. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Inhale the right leg up. This time warrior one. Sweeping that foot through, and we're bringing the arms up. And then warrior two. So warrior two, I'm going to go a little bit wider with the legs, so I can go deeper and I can keep that knee over the ankle. I'm looking over that right knee, keeping it nicely lined up. Arms are soft. You breathing. We'll do a reverse warrior and then extended side angle pose. So extended side angle, we're bringing that top arm nice and close to the head. You're trying to get more and more of a straight line from that top hand through to that back foot. We come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we flow to the other side. Plank, Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We bring the left leg up, extended down dog, and we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one on the other side. Hold warrior one. I'm going to switch. You stay warrior one for a little bit. And then we exhale into warrior two. Maybe a little bit wider with the feet, maybe a little bit deeper, it's up to you. I'm walking that front foot forward as I go deeper. And then a reverse warrior and extended side angle pose. We come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then into plank. Chaturanga, take your time, or knees, chin, chest to ground. Cobra or up dog. Make sure you're not shrugging the shoulders up. Downward facing dog. And then we bring the knees down and we rest in child's pose. So from child's pose, Come back onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. And then bring that foot through, coming into a low lunge. So I'm doing the mirror image. You've got your right foot forward, I've got my left foot forward. Lunge, low lunge. You get a nice stretch at the front of that back leg. Bring the arms up, you get a little deeper stretch. We bring the hands down. We walk that front foot forward an inch or two. And then we'll do a little bit of dynamic stretching. Exhale, we extend the leg. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. We'll hold the extension. We'll walk the hands in a little bit closer. Hopefully you can touch the ground. If not, a couple of blocks would be useful. Just trying to get an easy stretch of the back of that leg. Eventually, toes, kneecap towards the ceiling, and you're going to engage those quads. Back into the lunge. We take that front foot over to the side. So 90 degrees at the knee, foot is pointing to the side, and we just lunge over from side and back to center. If it's tough on the knee, you can fold the mat, get a little bit more cushioning. This is going to work the adductors. And then we're going to hold that lunge, add a side stretch. We come up, we extend that foot, that leg, so it's still lined up with the hips, but this time the foot is facing forward. We'll bring the forearms onto the mat, and just bring the whole body forward and back. And you might be feeling a little bit of a stretch in the lower back again. And then we take a lunge on the other side. Stretching out the front of that back leg, stretching the psoas out. And we bring the arms up, deepening the stretch. We bring the hands down, fingers on the ground, walk that front foot forward an inch or two. Exhale, extend the leg. Inhale, lunge. And just repeat. Hold the leg straight. Trying to turn the foot and kneecap up towards the ceiling. Giving yourself a little bit of a hamstring stretch. We take the leg over to the side. Foot pointing to the side, and we just lean over to the side and back to neutral. Cushion the knee if you need to. Going a little bit deeper each time. And then we're going to hold that lunge and bring the other arm up over, getting more of a side stretch. We extend the leg, foot pointing forward, forearms to the ground, and we bring the whole body forward and back. And then we'll take child's pose. Okay, a little bit different class today, right? Okay, lunge again. We'll right foot forward. This time we're going to add a twist. Now as I go into the twist on this one, I'm bringing, so I'm doing the mirror image. So let me talk as if your right foot is forward, you bring in the right arm to the outside of the leg if possible. I'm going to take the other hand and push into the leg pretty high up the thigh, just so I can get a little bit of a deeper stretch. So what I find is it sort of sticks at the hip here. So if I use that hand, I can loosen it up and I can get it into a little bit of a deeper twist. Then I bring the palms together and elbow up towards the ceiling. This is a good twist, but if you want a little bit more challenge, you tuck the toes of the back foot and you come into a crescent twist, high lunge twist, and you breathe. And we slowly bring the knee down, and we're going to switch over to the other side. You're bringing the other foot forward, lunge, you bring the arm onto that leg or just outside the leg. You push in the other hand into the leg so you can get a little bit deeper into that twist. Palms together, elbow up. And if you want, you tuck the toes of the back foot and you bring that knee up. And you breathe. And we slowly lower the knee. We bring the hands either side of the foot. We come into plank. We're bringing the whole body forward. We're bringing the inner elbows forward. Drop to 90 degrees at the elbows. Chaturanga. If you can't hold that, go all the way down. Cobra or up dog. Opening the chest. Engage the core. Transition into downward facing dog. Take a breath or two. And then we bring the knees down and we sit on the heels. Okay, should be nicely warmed up. We've done a lot of core work. How about crow? Okay, let me just move the mat. If you don't want to do crow, you can just hang out in a squat. You can just hang out in the squat like here. So normally we get into crow from the squat like this. We take the hands wide apart and we come high up, and then we balance ourselves into crow. What I'm going to do next, a little bit of a different technique. I'm folding forward, so I'm just going to stand like this, and I'm going to come onto my tiptoes. And I'm trying to bring the knees high up the arms. I'm looking forward. And I'm going to lean onto the arms. So my knees are into the upper arms. I'm leaning forward. And I just let one foot come up. And then I let the other foot come up. I'm looking forward all the time. I'm keeping the throat open. And I'm breathing. So the back is rounded. Toes are together. I'm opening the throat. Don't tuck the chin or you'll land on the head. And you come back down. It's a challenging pose, that one. If there's too much stress on the back, just do the squat. Just take it easy. Let's do that one more time. So the regular way I come into it, the usual way, is from the squat. So my feet are pointing out. I push the arms into the legs. So this way the knees are more outside the arms. The other way we did, the knees are sort of into the back of the arms. A little bit different. But here again you come up on the toes, you raise the knees, you're looking forward all the time. You lean forward. Remember, don't kick the feet up. Just let them float. And you can come into that crow pose. If you kick up, and I mention this every time, if you kick up, your weight is probably too far back, you're never going to get up, I don't think. Come onto your back. Knees in, just relax. Pull the knees in and just rock from side to side. Little bit of a back massage again. Happy baby, holding onto the feet. Happy baby, you're trying to relax the shoulders. You're pulling the shoulders away from the ears. You're trying to get the tailbone low. A lot of arm strength, pulling the legs low to the ground. Take hold of the big toes. So the first two fingers thumb around the big toe, and we're going to start straightening the legs, and we're trying to get them into a V shape eventually. Again, you're trying to keep the tailbone nice and low. You're pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. A lot of people struggle with this one. It's a challenge, straightening the legs. Just go as far as you can, keeping within your comfort zone. And then we release. We take hold of the back of the legs and we rock ourselves up. And let's do a little bit of hip opening. Let's come into Konasana. Rock a little bit. As you rock, well, what I do is I rock, I'm getting the heels in a little bit closer. So I rock and I'm getting less distance between the heels and my body. And then a lot of arm strength, pulling the hips forward, trying to keep the back neutral. If your knees are high up, if your back is rounded, please sit on a block or something like that, or a cushion. Make it easier. Eventually, you can be like this with the back neutral, and then you can try and persuade the legs to get closer to the ground. Good stretch on the inside of the legs here. Konasana. Close the eyes, breathe. And then we come out, we cross the legs, and we relax a little bit. Bring up the right arm, extend the right arm forward, shoulder back. Take the other arm above the elbow, start pulling that right arm in. Just find a gentle stretch. Get tall. Feel where you're getting the stretch. Try and get those muscles to relax a little bit more. Try not to tense up. And then gradually go deeper with the breath. So we're trying to soften before we go deeper into that stretch. And release. If you go too quick, if the muscles are tensed up, you can't get as deep. So we take our time, we try and let things soften, and then we go into it. Other side, you're pulling the arm in, you're finding that stretch, and you try and let things soften. We inhale, and then we go a little deeper, taking your time. This is a good one, stretching out the arm, across the upper back, all around the deltoid. Extend the arms to the side, eagle arms. Arms extended, shoulders relaxed. Lines of energy through the arms. We bring the right arm under the left arm and we take the back of the hands or the palms together, parallel. We touch the nose with the thumb and then we start bringing the arms up. Getting a good stretch across the upper back on this one. Get neutral in the back. Breathe. And we release. Just move those shoulders a little bit. And then we extend the arms to the side again, parallel to the ground. We bring the left arm under the right arm, back of the hands parallel all the palms. So I've got the fingers of one hand inside the palm of the other hand, touching the nose with one thumb, and then bringing the arms up, getting tall at the same time, relaxing the head. Try not to jut the head forward. And breathe into those tight areas. And release. Keep one foot pulled in. So I'm keeping my right foot pulled in and I'm going into a seated twist. And I'm going to take the other leg outside, hugging the knee or bringing the arm outside as a leverage into a seated twist. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale into that twist. We unwind. We switch legs. Hugging the knee, using the arms as leverage, getting taller and taller, coming into that twist. We unwind, come onto your back. Pull the knees in, rock from side to side. Take another full body stretch. Legs extended, arms extended over the head. Getting as much length as you can. Try and get a little bit more length, pulling the hips away from the feet, back away from the hips, get length in the neck. Take a side stretch, getting into a banana shape. And then we stretch out the other side. Then we recenter and we come into Shavasana. Bring the arms either side of your palms up, eyes closed, totally relax. Take a couple of deep breaths. Moisten the lips and then just regular breathing. Just feel yourself sinking into the ground. Stretch out the hands. Spread the toes. And then just relax the hands and the feet. Stretch out the hands, the toes, and relax. One more time. Stretch out the hands. Stretch again. Stretch more. Stretch the toes out as much as you can. And then relax the feet, relax the hands. Walk the feet in and roll over to your side. Take a breath or two. And then keeping the eyes closed, come into a seated position. Inhale as you sweep the arms up, palms together. Exhale as they come down. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale down. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep the palms together. Bring the hands to the forehead. Namaste.